FPUC retro heats up as there's a push to put it into the fourth stimulus package, debuted this week. So will FPUC retro get to the finish line? Enjoy this throwback video explaining FPUC, UI, PUA, and more. FPUC can still be enhanced retroactively, but will that unpaid period from July to December of last year be paid finally under fourth stimulus? Enjoy this overnight to LA video explaining FPUC retro. No joke, more viewers send me pictures of their cats and dogs watching me, rushing into the room to watch me whenever I talk about second stimulus. Someone called me both the cat whisperer and the stimulus whisperer. They stare like this, and I'm really not quite sure what they're doing. I think they're intensely interested in the unemployment videos. FPPUC. PUEC, PUAA. It's just, it just sounds very cattish. It just either that or they see my hair, my bushy hair, and they're like, he's one of us. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for joining me with you and your cat and your dog and your llama and your raccoon and your bats, maybe, if you're tuning in from San Francisco. Thank you for tuning in for Afternoon to LALATE. Boy, a big day with incredible great news about unemployment benefits. This is the video you need to watch. Absolutely need to watch it to the end because there's so much incredible great news. Every day at LALATE starts afternoons at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time with the check, then goes to hazard pay, then FPUC, this video, and finally rent. This is an insanely great day for unemployment, because minutes ago the president came out in favor of the problem solvers bill. He came out in favor of three things about the problem solvers bill that really shows how life is just all about keeping it right and straight. We have the purple power, 250,000 subscribers in 4 months. We're Republicans, we're Democrats, we all caucus with the Purple Power Party, and we all believe that, hey, stimulus is needed. Good stimulus is needed, not crappy stimulus. And today the president came out in favor of good stimulus. The problem solvers bill introduced yesterday called for $450 a week for 8 weeks of FPUC 2.0. It would then be followed up by $600 a week, and then for about 5 weeks thereafter. It's insanely good. The only thing bad, perhaps you could argue about it, which I don't think is a big issue, is it starts in mid-October. So it starts out after LWA and goes to January. So it's 13 weeks going forward. There's nothing retroactive about it. I mean, it's a draft of a bill. The bill can be revised. But this is insanely great news. So on the first time ever, this channel is going to detail to you, one, that the president's now in favor of making this law. Oh, yes. 2, if it doesn't become a law because someone else wants to block it, he has the ability, the calculations, and the money now to do it by executive order. And 3, states are now spending money on you for unemployment benefits like they've never spent before. This is the video you needed to watch. Let me get to the incredible details minutes ago. Mark Meadows said the president supports the problem solvers bill. That was number 1. 2, Mark Meadows says the president supports the value of the problem solvers bill, 1.5. 3, Mark Meadows says the president is urging members of the Republican Party to come up to 1.5 and accept this as law. This is insanely good. It's not a surprise, because guess who told you about this first? Several months ago, I told you back in July that the problem solvers were doing this, that they were going to Mark Meadows, that they were meeting with him. These are Republicans and Democrats in this problem solvers group, and speaking with him about what would be okay with the president for second stimulus. They went all over the provisions. They had several meetings. They went to the Temple Tomb. She wouldn't let them in. She literally would not let them in. This is the same week she went and let Mark Meadows meet with her. She wouldn't let Steve Mnuchin call on the phone. So they had no input from her except her original bill. And guess what they did? They came in at $450 a week. Who told you originally that this was going to get settled somewhere around $400 or $500 a week? I did. Who told you that the problem solvers were going to push this and were going to get something that the president could support this? I did. But what I absolutely did not see coming was what the president did today. He told the Republican leadership, some of which is very high strung on never giving you a stimulus. Yeah, there's those people out there that simply just don't even want to give $1 million. They want to give $200,000 of stimulus to get their acts together and do it right away. And the incredible great news was that the reaction from one of those people in that group was that it's going to cause a lot of migraines. But it wasn't a no. It was like, I don't really like this, but it wasn't a no. It was, okay, if you really want us to do it, Mr. President, you're the leader of our Republican Party, we'll do it. And with that came the insanely great news. So what does this mean for you? Let's go over the provisions. This is $450 a week for an 8-week period. It is not retroactive. The next period would be 5 weeks for $600 a week. So we're doing 13 total weeks. The period of eligibility is October 2020 to January 2021. What's incredible about this is that it's a little bit different than anything we saw coming as to time frame. One, it has nothing to do with LWA. So everything I had told you that it was going to go on top of LWA, it was going to be retroactive, and maybe the difference between that and LWA, these people didn't do it that way. They just said, oh no, we understand LWA is expiring. We're just going to put this after LWA. So there's one group of people this is going to help and one group of people it's not going to help. The one group of people it's going to help is it's going to fall for LWA people right after LWA expires. That's the group of people it's going to help. The group of people it's not going to help are people who never got LWA because of the $100 threshold. So those people will have no extended unenhanced unemployment benefits from July to October, which is August, September, 2 months, about 8 weeks of enhanced unemployment benefits. You will never get anything but for an exception coming up later in this video. So stay tuned with that. That's good news. But that is what's rubbing here currently. There's no $100 threshold, so that's gone. The $100 threshold of LWA created in the executive order of President Trump is gone. If you don't know what that is, some people are asking me, what is that $100 threshold? There was a requirement you had $100 of benefits to get the enhanced unemployment assistance, this supplement. So that's not in here. What is also not in here? There is no extension of time limits. So there's no extension of FPUC for PUA for additional weeks. There's no extension of UI for additional weeks. So whatever time limits you already had on CARES Act 1, they're still there. You're fine for PUA because PUA has enough weeks to carry you to January, I believe. It's 30-something weeks. So if you started in March, I don't think you're running out. UI, if you started in March, you should be fine as well because UI, you have 3 periods. You have the initial period, you have the extended state extended weeks of benefits, and then you have the FPEUC, the extended weeks under CARES Act 1. That should carry you to January. The only people that this will not help is people who are on UI before the pandemic hit. You know, people who are on UI back in 2019. You're going to expire. This does not extend you further. I mean, you may expire, but this will not extend you further. So really overall, incredibly great news. States as to LWA, let me explain that just shortly. States as to LWA are paying 6 weeks. They're paying the 6 weeks. They're coming to you. They're slow. They're coming in installments. They're coming in 2 weeks together and then 3 weeks together, or 1 week and then 5 weeks. There's no need to send me a DM or a tweet or look up your unemployment situation. Say, why have I gotten 1 week? Where's the other week? When is the second week going to come? I just don't know. I personally don't know what every state is doing for why you got 1 week and 2 weeks. In the state of California, for example, this is how insanely, ridiculously confusing it is. They literally have described, there's 4 scenarios of how they're paying LWA. One is all the weeks together. Another one is 3 and 3. One is 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4. One is 1 and 5. It's just so people saying, why did I get 1 and my friend got 4 and I got it's all over the place. Just my bottom line is stay patient. I don't know the answers for you, so I can't help you, but stay patient. So with this incredible great news, where are we on this? Well, this is the best news you could ever hear about unemployment assistance, because as we sit here today, Democrats, Republicans, the White House, the president's press secretary, Mark Meadows, broadcast news, print news, all came out slamming the Temple of Doom, saying this has to be done. This has to be done. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And ironically, this is just the first of 3 bills that we're looking at. The next one's from the Blue Dogs. They've already said that they're going to do enhanced unemployment benefits. They already said they're going to do stimulus checks. Everything else beyond that, we really don't know. The one after that is the New Age Democrats. That's the one that's quite big. That's the one that she just trashed them, absolutely verbally trashed them during that Carolyn Maloney press conference standalone postal bill a few weeks ago. Remember that Saturday? She was asked about what the New Age Democrats are doing for their standalone, for their bill for enhanced unemployment benefits, and she said they don't know what they're doing. Well, America today is now saying Nancy Pelosi doesn't know what she's doing. It has universally become a consensus that these bills are good. There's nothing inherently bad about these bills. There's things that need to be tweaked about the bill. No bill is perfect. I mean, just, I don't like the fact that it's not retroactive, but you can tweak things. I don't like that, maybe we need some extension of UI or extension of PUA a few more weeks. You can't have everything, but you can have this, which is a lot more than nothing. How much money is this? 8 weeks at $450. Well, if you call it 8 times 5 to make the math even easier, $2,400. Excuse me, did I just say 8 times 5? That's like cut a little bit. 8 times 5 is 1,000, 1,200. Followed by 5 weeks at $600. So 5 times $600 under Larry Kudlow is $3,200. 5 times needless to say, it's close to $10,000. Friggin' hell! And this is this woman over here who's totally insane doesn't want to give you that type of money. She wants, with her $32 million in the bank account, for you not to get $10,000 of money in the next couple of weeks. It's insane. It's totally categorically insane. What makes me so irate, and I'm trying to say it with a smile, so it looks like I'm having a good day with you, but I'm really internally just angry as hell, is that $4,000 makes the difference of a person homeless or not homeless. And when Steve Mnuchin offered her $450 a week several weeks ago during the final week of second stimulus negotiations, and she rejected that $400 a week, you would have had, several thousands of dollars in your bank account by now. Well, you don't. And because of that, you don't have potentially a home. July and August and September, 12. So that's 3 months potentially at 3 months times 4 weeks, 12 weeks times $400. Well, let's say 10 times $400, that's $4,000. And you would have that stimulus check on top of that, $5,200. You would have $5,200 in your bank account, but for her ignorant way of negotiating. Imagine, just think right now, how different your life would be if you had $5,200 in your bank account. And you don't. That's why you don't negotiate that way. The difference of $600 a week versus $400 a week may make sense when you're in the scope of negotiating back in July or June. But when you're still not getting the $400 a week now in September, heading into October, it's absolutely catastrophic. And so the incredible great news as we sit here today is that the president's on board for this. The president wants to do this. The president is telling his Republican leadership, get this done. What's so important about this is that this is the first time the president has ever supported unemployment assistance, extended enhanced unemployment assistance, over $400 a week. You got to remember that this channel has been detailing this president's offers on enhanced unemployment assistance since the very beginning. And the very highest he ever went was $400 a week. We know that from Steve Mnuchin's offers. He went to $400 a week and he just stopped. The president never went above $400 a week. This is $450 a week and then $600 a week. It is an inherently huge jump from anything this president has ever accepted or offered. It's totally different than even the bill last week. Remember the bill last week from Mitch? The whatever you call that crappy ass bill. That had $300 a week of extended enhanced unemployment benefits. The president is now saying, ignore your $300 a week bill from last week that fell apart. Go to $450 and then $600 after that. This is why it's an incredible great day. It's an incredible great day because you have people really seeing this has to be done. You know, when this channel launched, I said overwhelmingly, the most important thing you have to understand when a pandemic hits, when we're talking about stimulus and we're talking about enhanced unemployment benefits, is you have to give a lot of stuff. You can't be cheap with spending money, because when you don't spend enough money on stimulus, it doesn't stimulate the economy. It doesn't help the economy. All you're doing is basically dropping little tidbits into the economy, and it's not going to spur anything. It's not going to stimulate it. It's not going to move the progression. And now analysts have now said months later that because of the inability of the Temple of Doom to really put stimulus into the economy, it's going to take many more years for this economy to rebound unless a big drop of massive stimulus hits the economy. And what I mean by stimulus, I mean with the people. I don't mean with state and local. So as we sit here today, this is insanely great news. The other news that you need to be aware of, and certainly I've left it sort of later in this video, is enhanced unemployment benefits from your state. I had tipped about it earlier in this video. Let me explain to you what's going on. There are several states who are doing really great things for you for LWA, and there's other states that are doing incredible great things for you that are not LWA but look like LWA. Let me explain to you what's happening. One, some states are doing a workaround around that $100 threshold problem that some people are facing. If you don't know it, you have to get to a $100 threshold in order to qualify for LWA. And if you don't get it. So what some states are doing is they're doing a workaround so that you get LWA. It's absolutely incredible. And what are they doing it? What they're doing with that money that I dropped in that World Exclusive. The other thing that's absolutely incredible is that some states are using the $150 billion is dedicated for state and local under the first stimulus package for unemployment assistance. They're actually spending the money because they realize what the federal government is doing with you with unemployment assistance is so slow and it's not helping you, it's not enough money. We're going to do it for you. We have the money. And this is what they should be doing. That's the spirit of the Purple Power. Helping one another, helping us get through it, using money for the purposes it was supposed to be used for on you, the citizens, the families, the children, not on big business, not on big states that want to keep the money in the bank and collect interest and then draw upon it 3 years from now when they want to buy a new computer. Or some person sent me a tweet where one city wanted to use it to renovate a theater to put new offices for their government. You're going to get everything you want, and I've always said it. And that's why you have to go to this fine channel, subscribe, and drop your comments below. It is going to be very quick, and it's going to be very good. Things are turning around. That's the spirit of the Purple Power. Like this video because it helps the video appear higher in the ranking, but also because it's a really damn good video. As always, coming up next is Rent. Stay tuned for that as more. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay valid for more.